Good evening, all. Good evening, children. So, till what we discussed in the last class? Hello. Yes, Jafar ji, are you here? What till what we discussed in the last class? Yes, Niyati, after a long time you are joining again. Are you here? Okay. Tell me till what we discussed. I think we discussed till exponential functions. Okay. So, we'll discuss few more topics today. Just a minute. Yeah. Yeah. So everyone take this question now. Find the domain and range of f of x is equal to square root of x minus 1 plus square root of 3 minus x. Okay, everyone solve this question quickly. Guys, everyone look at the board. See, find the domain and range of this function. This type of question can be, how can you solve this? So what he has given, y is equal to square root of x minus 1 plus square root of 3 minus x. So everyone take a note. I'll give you a note here. Whenever you get this type of questions, first suppose y is in the form of x minus a plus a minus, 1 second, plus b minus a. Okay. So then the function minimum value. Minimum value of the function would be, for minimum value you have to use x value called a comma b. For maximum value you have to use x value called a plus b by 2. Okay, this is what you have to use. So basically now if I solve this beta here inside, inside the square root I have an expression here and here, correct? So x minus 1 can't be negative, so it has to be greater than 0 or equal to 0. So which means I would get x greater than or equal to 1. And similarly 3 minus x has to be greater than 0. But look at this, what happens here. 3 greater than or equal to minus x. If I just solve this properly, inequality changes. This is what I get, correct? X less than 3 I would get x greater than 1. So what is the range here now? X lies between where to where? X should be lesser than or equal to 3 and greater than or equal to 1. So this is what the domain is all about, correct? This is my first equation. Let us say this is second equation. From 1 and 2, can I say that x lies between 1 and 3? I can say absolutely. All right. So this is what I get here. Now, basically, what is the domain now? What is the domain? Tell me. What is the domain of this function now? I just got a solution. What is the domain now? Domain is equal to what? 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, TO2, 3. So what is the range is going to be now? My range is going to be minimum value and maximum value beta. My range is, what is the minimum value? Y minimum value is what? So the function is looking like, isn't it looking like x minus a into, plus b minus a plus b minus a, not b minus a, b minus x. Okay. So now tell me what is a value here? A value is 1, b value is 3. Correct? A value is 1, b value is 3. So y minimum is what? Y minimum is at what? Y minimum is equal to, a value is 1, b value is 3. Right? Y minimum is nothing but x minus, x minus 1 given, right? X minus 1. X value is a comma b, right? So 1 minus 1 plus 3 minus 1. All right. So first I'll be substituting a here and b here. Understood my point? So what is the value is going to be 0 plus root 2. Answer is root 2. Y minimum is what? Root 2. What is y maximum? What is y maximum? Y maximum, for y maximum what I have to do beta? X value a plus b by 2. So for this, what is x value? A plus b by 2. A value is 1, b value is 3 by 2. So which is nothing but 4 by 2, which is nothing but 2. X value 2 I have to substitute for maximum. So y maximum is equal to, x value is 2, right? X value is 2 is nothing but 2 minus 1 plus 3 minus 2. Correct? So 1 plus 1 square root of 2. So what is my answer now? Maximum minimum. What is my maximum minimum? So my maximum is root 2, minimum is, minimum is root 2, maximum is 2. Minimum value, how much minimum? Square root of 2, maximum value is 2. This is my range. Understood my point? Any doubts, guys? So minimum value is root 2. How we got my minimum value as root 2? Tell me. How we got minimum value as root 2 here? I substituted a value as 1 comma 3. Why? For minimum, you have to take x, a and b values as, look at this here. Let's show you. Here I have x beta. Okay, where is that question? Yeah, I have the question here, x. I have to take this as a here and I have to take this as b here. And a comma b values are what? A value is given 1, b value is given 3. I just substituted that, that's it. All right, getting my point? Okay. 1 minus 1 and 3 minus 1. X value, I took a comma 1 comma 1 actually. Okay, X value is going to be what? A comma B. Understood or not? A comma B. What is A comma B here? 1 comma 3. So X value is going to be 1 comma 3 here. So I took 1. Okay, I took 1 and I substituted here X value. I took X value 1. Okay, I substituted X value as 1. I got root 2 is Y minimum. Maximum is what? X value A plus B by 2. 4 by 2 is 2. Y maximum is what now? So X value, what I take? What I have to take X value? 2 here. Understood my point or not? I took 2 here and substituted here. So X value, X minus 1, 3 minus X. So 1 plus 1 square root of 1 plus square root of 1. How much? You can simply say that's it. That is my answer is going to be now. Now, or else like, where is that? Here root 2 I got, right? I sorry, 1 plus 1 is what? 2 beta, not root 2, 2 simply. But because square root of 1 is 1, square root of 1 is also 1. So 2. Correct? So minimum value is root 2, maximum value is 2. That's it. That is my answer. Range answer. Range is nothing but what? From minimum to maximum. What is the minimum and maximum value? That is what your range, right? From where to where it is. So that is what I got root 2, comma 2. This is my final answer is going to be. Hope it is clear with everyone. Hope it is clear with everyone. Next question. Next type of function is logarithmic function, beta. Okay. Any doubts here? Any doubts? Tell me. So whenever you get a question, something like, y is equal to square root of x minus a plus square root of b minus x. So in this type of questions, what you have to take for finding y minimum value, you have to take x values as what? A comma b. Okay, a comma b. For y maximum, I have to take it as what? X value as a plus b by 2. If I take, look at this, I do not know what x values should be substituted here. I'm taking a and b. All right, sir. What you are doing here? I'm taking x value as 1 beta. Okay. What is as per the question he has given? A value is what? As per the question he has given, a value is 1, b value is 3. Okay. So you can take either a comma b. Anything you take. Need not to take both at a time. For a minimum value, I'm talking. For minimum value, if I take a value as, if I take this as my x, what are you going to get now? X minus 1 minus 1 plus square root of 3 minus 1, 0 plus 2. Root 2 is answer. Look at this minimum. So even I take this as my x, you're going to get the same answer. Check. Look at here. Y is equal to square root of 3 minus 1 plus 3 minus 3. Check. This will become 0. This will be left with root 2. The overall answer is root 2 or not. Minimum value is matching or not. So which means you can take any one value as your x. Either you take a or you take b. Any value you take it as x. So in substitute, you will be getting minimum value. For maximum value, what is your x value is going to be? This is my for minimum x value can be a comma b beta. Okay, for maximum x value should be a plus b by 2. Okay, what is a here? 1. B is what? 3 by 2. So 2 you will get here. So I'll be substituting x value as what now? 2 and 2. A value and b value has been already given to you. I'll be taking x value as 2. For what? For maximum value. So that is what I did here. So similarly I did here. So minimum value root 2 I got, maximum value 2 I got after substitution. Correct? So this is my range here. This is how you find out this type of questions. So now let me give you one more question. Let us talk about logarithmic function and I'll give questions. Not questions, logarithmic function. So everyone knows the log function. Log function. Basically, what do you mean by log function? But this is inverse function of inverse function of exponential exponent exponentiation or called log function. All right. Inverse function of exponential is called as log function. I mean, inverse function of exponential function is logarithmic function. Sir, what is that? We didn't understand. Very simple. What I'm trying to say here is, for suppose f of x is equal to log x with base a, you have it. Okay, this is a logarithmic function. If I convert this into exponential function, how it would be? How it would be? X is equal to a to the power of y. That's it. X is equal to a to the power of y. This is my exponential function here. And if I convert this into log function, this is how it will be. Cool. So, understand my point? Getting my point or not? So here, basically, what is a here? A is base. Y is what? What is y here? You say input or input or number. That is my y. In log function, what happens, beta? Here, a should be greater than 0. A should not be equal to 1. X must be greater than 0. These are the terms and conditions which we have under logarithmic. Correct? Understood or not? X must be greater than 0, a must be greater than 0, and a should not be equal to 0. This is the basic definition of log actually. Alright, this is the function. This is, I mean, what is the definition of the logarithmic function? F of x is going to be log x base a if and only if a greater than 0, x greater than 0, and a should not be equal to 1. Now, this is the definition of the logarithmic. What is the domain of this function is going to be? Domain. Tell me, log will not allow any negative values, and log will not allow any negative values. And in the place of x, I meant to say that in the place of x, there should not be any negative values, beta. In the place of a also, there should not be any negative values. So x and a both should be greater than 0. And it does not mean that a can be 1 here. A should not be equal to 0. If a also cannot be equal to 1. Why a cannot be equal to 1? I'll give an example. For suppose log, let us talk about few examples. So if I ask you log 4 base 2, how much here? Log 4 base 2, how much? Log 4 base 2, how much, guys? अरे यार क्या होता है इसका आंसर? 2, isn't it? What is the meaning of this? What power of 2 gives me 4? What power of 2 gives me 4? Tell me. What power of 2 gives me 4? That is your answer. 2 power of 2 gives me 4. So 2 is my answer. You understand my point? Now I'll ask you one more question. Log 8 base 3 or base 2. Tell me what is the answer now? What power of 3 gives me 8? What power of 2 gives me 8? 2 power of 3 gives me 8. Alright. Getting my point? I'll ask you a simple question now. Log 4 with base 1. What is the answer of this? What power of 1 gives you 4? Impossible or not? What power of 1 gives you 4? It is impossible. None of the, any power of 1 gives me 1 only. So no power of 1 makes me 4. So nothing nothing is possible here. So 1 cannot be my base here. Understood my point? Here base cannot be equal to 1 beta. Understood my point? If you have a base as your 1, what happens? You will be getting contradiction over here. So here all the log, look at it, 2 power of 2 gives me 4, 2 power of 3 gives me 8. Now 1 power of something should give me what? 4. But 1 power of anything is always 1. It never generates 4. So that is the reason base cannot be equal to 1 here. Very simple. Alright. So now domain can be what now? What is the domain now? Domain is nothing but only positive real numbers, beta. You will not be including even 0 here. Okay. So only positive real numbers. Now what is the range of the log function is going to be, tell me? What is the range of this function? Tell me. Quick. It can generate negative values as well. Minus infinite to plus infinite. Is it clear? Guys, tell me the answer. All right. So my domain is going to be what? Minus infinite plus infinite, anything. So because, sir, just now we told that log cannot allow negative values, but how you are getting negative values, beta? Log will never take negative values, but it can generate negative values. You understand my point? Answer can be negative, but it won't take negative values. Try to understand my point. Here, it can produce negative values. Log of something can be your negative answer, but log of negative can be, log of negative is not possible. Understand my point? Log never allows negative values. It will generate negative values as your output. You can get your answer as output. I mean, you can get your answer as negative number, but log never allows negative values. As like a square root. Square root never allows negative number and never generate negative answer. Right? Same time, at the same time, log as well, it never takes negative values, but it can generate negative values here. Getting my point? So that is a question. Like, no, sir, I'm not able to understand what do you mean by actually. Let me give you a simple example. Look at it here. Log 1 by 2 base 2. Answer is what? See, log 1 by 2 with a base 2. What is the answer is going to be? Tell me now. 2 power of what gives me 1 by 2, Rababu? Are yaar, 2 to the power of minus 1 is gives me what? 2 to the power of minus 1 gives me 1 by 2 or not? So answer is what for this? Minus 1 is or not? Tell me. 2 power of something gives me 1 by 2. What is that something? Minus 1. So 2 to the power of minus 1 is what? Tell me. That can be written as what? 1 by 2 or not? Tell me. So it is generating negative values. Check kar lo. All right. So it can generate negative values. Still it is correct only. Sir, how you are saying it is correct? Since my base and power both are positive numbers, both are greater than 0, and all the conditions are satisfying with the, the given question. All the logarithmic conditions, check. A greater than 0, x greater than 0, base is not equal to 1. Then all the conditions are satisfying here. Answer can be what? Negative now. Getting my point? So that is how I'm telling you. Domain is positive real numbers. Range is all real numbers. That is what domain and range of the logarithmic function is going to be. Cool? Any doubts? Guys, any doubts here? Your input can be positive, but output never be a negative. Understood my point? Any doubts? Guys, कोई doubt यहाँ पे? Hello? नियति, प्रवलिका, जाफर, कोई doubt? बताओ. Make it fast.
No, sir.
Hmm. So basically, I'll tell you types of logarithmics now. What are the types? Types of log function. Because you have two types of logarithmics. What are they? First one is natural log. Natural log. I mean common log. Okay. Natural log is nothing but beta. If I have something a log with a base e. Okay, log x is a base e, that is a natural log. And common log is nothing but if I have something log with a base 10, that is common log. Sir, why you are saying natural log? I mean, why we call log x base e as natural log? But in nature, in the logarithmics, concept, in the nature, log only came first. I mean, natural log only came first. What is that? Natural log came first with the base e. Sir, what is e here? But e is a Euler constant. Like, you will be having the constant called 2.71 something 2.718 dash 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 dash. It is like pi beta. It is an irrational number. It is like pi. Pi is an irrational number or not 3.1415 dash 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 dash. It is like pi only. Understood my point? So how you got that e value as 2.718, sir? We didn't understand that. But again, you will be having expansion of e expansion of the Euler constant you have. That will be 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1 factorial, 2 by 2 factorial. All right. I mean, not 2 by 2 factorial, 1 by 2 factorial. 1 by 2 factorial plus 1 by 3 factorial. If I keep going like this, if I solve all this better, you will be getting somewhere 2.718 dash 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 dash. It is an irrational number you will be getting. Okay, I would call this an Euler's constant. All right, Euler's constant or Neperian's constant. Anything is same. We call that as what? Euler's constant or Neperian's constant. This is my natural log. This also can be written as what about a ln x, ln x. Ln x is nothing but log natural x. What is the meaning of ln x? Log natural x. So that is how that is how the natural log came first in the nature. That is how the natural logs came first in the nature. Common log is basically you will be using scientific, I mean, like science subjects like chemistry, physics. You'll be studying log x base 10. It is not that you will not be studying natural logs in your science subject. It is not like that. If you take a topic called thermodynamics, better in thermodynamics, you will be having natural logs as well. Log with a base e. You will be using such logs as well. If you go with thermodynamics, if I'm not wrong, you just go and open a thermodynamics topic. You will be having definitely natural logs over there to see. Clear? Yes. This is the basic funda you need to know. Natural log, common log. Common log is nothing but base with a 10, and natural log is nothing but base with e. All right, that also can be called as lnx. Lnx. Sir, lnx is nothing but now I have a doubt here. Lnx. Beta, don't we write e in the base now? Beta, look at it. E is hidden over there. You simply write as lnx. You write simply as what? Lnx. All right. That is how we just write this. Hope you got my point. Sir, okay, sir, we got this. How the function, I mean, how the graph of this log function is going to be? How the graph of this log function is going to be? For suppose if I say y is equal to log x base a, what is the graph of this function is going to be, beta? Somewhere you will be getting a graph something like this. Okay, this is how your graph. When if a is greater than 1, this is how you graph. And if at all, for suppose, uh, uh, 1 second, let me take this is a function, right? Now this is a graph of y is equal to log x with a base 2 beta. Okay, if a is greater than 1, here a is what, 2 or not, greater than 1. So such type of functions graph is going to be like this. Okay, now if I have base lesser than 1, I mean base lies between 0 to 1, I'm sure you might have seen a graph of exponential function. In exponential function, we have seen two types of graphs: when base is greater than 0 and when base lies between 0 to 1. All right. If a greater than 1, this is how the graph will be. If a lies between 0 to 1, this is how the graph will be. Clear my point? Getting my point? Here base is greater than 0. Here, I mean, greater than 1. Here base lies between 0 and 1. Understood my point? Any doubts? Sir, how you are getting these graphs? But a simple look at it, I'll just tell you x and y, you take some values. If I take x value 1, what is the log 1 is 0. If I take x value 2, how much? Log value is 1. If I take x value is 4, log value, I mean y value is 2. If I take x value something, anything 1 by 2, your answer is going to be -1. If I take, look at this, any value, all these values you plot on the graph, this is how your shape of the graph is going to be turned out. All right, people, this is how the graph of the logarithmic function is going to be. Okay, people, any doubts? Tell me now. Guys, I'm going somewhat fast since it is not the first time you're learning all this. I'm just giving you basics all. Okay, I'm giving you all basics. Okay, next we'll talk about greatest integer function. What is that? Greatest integer function, beta. Okay, greatest integer function also called as stepwise function. What is that? Stepwise function, or you call this as a step function. But the famous name of this function is greatest integer function, and many times like we call this as a step function. Okay, a stepwise function, anything is correct. Sir, why did we get this name called stepwise function? What exactly the meaning of greatest integer function? Let us try to understand that. For suppose if I have f of x, anything you take beta step x. This is how I denote the function, greatest integer function. Sir, I have a doubt here. In exams, what should I consider this as? Should I consider this as close bracket x or greatest integer function as? Beta, he will be definitely mentioning you in the bracket like, this denotes greatest integer function. Definitely he'll be mentioning you in the bracket. Do not worry about that. Cool. Sir, what is the definition of this function? Before getting into that, let me give an example. Square, I mean, step of 2 is what? 2 only. Step of 3 is what? 3 only. If I ask you step of -3 is what? -3 only. If I ask you to say step of -10 is what? -10 only. So step of any integer you take beta, the same number you are going to get here. The same number you are going to get after applying greatest integer function concept. Sir, what if I apply if I give x value as non-integer like -2.5? First of all, you write 2.5, I'll tell you. Okay. If I write 2.5, what is the greatest integer function of 2.5? 2. All right. What is the greatest integer function of -2.5? -3. Not, but a -3 is going to be here. Why? Because I'll be taking the values which are left side of that. Okay. For suppose, look at this here. This is 2.5 beta. Okay. So here 2 you have. So what is the greatest integer function of 2.5? Tell me. You have to take the greatest integer function among the left side values. Look at this here. You have 1 here. You have 0 here. You have -1 here. You have -2 here. Among all these values, which is the greatest integer you have? Left side of 2.5. 2 is the greatest integer. So that is what my answer is going to be. Cool. 2 is the greatest integer which is which lies left side of 2.5. So 2 is going to be. Now similarly, look at this here. -3. How -3, sir? So 2.5 is going to be here, beta. What is the left side value? What is the left side greatest integer? -3 is the left side greatest integer. So -3 is going to be your greatest integer. Hope you are getting my point. Any doubts? Any doubt, guys? Children, any doubts? Now domain.
No, sir.
What is the domain? Domain is nothing but what values of x you can give here. Any value I can give, minus infinite, infinite. My wish. Any value you can give. What is the range? After giving that, you are going to get only what you are going to get, beta. After giving any values, any real number, what is your answer is going to be check. What is your possible outputs? 2, -10, 3, -3. What are all these? What are all these? Tell me. Set of positive integers or not? I mean, set of integers or not? So can I say simply Z? Can I say simply Z? Z is nothing but what? Set of all integers. Isn't it? Hello, people. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Ah. Now, what is the definition of what if I ask you to say what is the definition of greatest integer function? Greatest integer function. Let me write, Babu, if you have any doubts. Look at it. If I ask you to say the definition, f of if if f of x is equal to if f of x is equal to step x, then step x is the greatest. It is the greatest integer less than. It is the greatest integer less than or equal to x. What is that? It is the greatest integer less than or equal to x. Sir, what is the meaning of this? For example, if you want to write an example, you write any example. 6.96. What is the greatest integer less than or equal to x here? What is x here? Tell me. But I here, 1 second. I told you 6 is nothing but 6 only. If I say 6.96, you can't write 7 here. You have to write 6
Sir.
only. Getting my point? 6.96 here, beta. 7 is here. You have to take less than. I'm saying less than or equal to x. It can be equal. Okay, if it is 6, it can be equal. If it is some non-integer like this, then you have to take left side integer. Left side integer. Understood my point? What is the integer? What is the integer you have which is left side of 6.96? 6 is my integer. That is greatest one. Understood my point? Hello guys, if you don't understand, let me tell you, Babu. What are the left side integers of 6.96? I'm talking, I'm asking you what are the integers which you have which are left side of 6.96? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, and so on. Among all these integers, which is the greatest one? 6 is the greatest one. So that is what your answer you have to take. Hope you got a clarity now. Hope you got a clarity. Any doubts? कोई डाउट बेटा बताओ जल्दी से. जाफर जी, रेणुका जी, प्रवलिका जी, नियति जी, any doubts?
No, sir.
Great, 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 great. So now how the graph of this function is going to be? Very simple. The graph, based on the graph, only we got a name called step function. Okay, let me say this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, -1, -2, -3. Okay, and you say -1 here, -2 here, -3 here, 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. Okay, so beta 0 to 1, 0 to 1, any integer you take, my answer is going to be 0 only. Again, I include 1. When? I will be including 1. Any value if you take lies between 1 to 2. Okay, I include 2. I include 2 when you take any value lies between 0 to, 2 to 3. What I meant to say, beta, if you take any value lies between 1 to 0 to 1, your answer is going to be 0 only. Any value you take lies between 1 to 2, your answer is going to be 1 only. Any value you take 2 to 3, your answer is going to be 2 only. All right, getting my point? Similarly, you take any values lies between 0 to -1. What is your answer is going to be? -1 only, isn't it?
Yes.
Though -1 is not including n. So if you take any value lie between -1 and 2, what is the answer is going to be?
Minus.
-2. -2. So here this means including beta, this means not including. Understood my point? Making small notch, making small hole is nothing but not including that. Getting my point? If I take any value lies between -2 to 3, -3 is going to be your answer. I mean, -3 is going to be your answer. -3 is nothing but on the y-axis -3. Look at this. I'm drawing equal to parallel to the number which is lies on the y-axis. Check. Look at this here. Any value lie between 0 to 1, my answer is going to be -1. All right. Any value lie between 2 to -1, answer is going to be 2, -2. Any value lie between -3 to 2, answer is going to be -3. This is how the function. Isn't it looking like step, 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 tickum, 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 step function? All right. Isn't it looking like that? Yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
that is how we got this function as step function. That is how we got the name called step function. All right. You can say this as a tickum function. All right. Step functions, staircase. All right, that is the basic understanding of this function beta. Now let's talk about properties of greatest integer function. Very important. This is very important. So first property I can give you here is you can apply any step x, any step x. Tingung, 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 tingung. You apply 100 times, answer is going to be finally step x, 1x only. Understood, sir? What is the meaning of this? I didn't understand. I'll tell you a simple example beta. Array, no tension beta. Check kar lo. 3.4. I'm applying 3 times. What are you going to get? So first of all, I'll be writing inside. Step of 3.4 is what? 3 or not? Again, step of 3 is what? 3 or not? Again, step of 3 is what? 3 or not? Check. Yes. Isn't it tell me? Isn't it tell me? Are you getting the same answer or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you simply write this as 3. Understood my point? Yes. Now, next property I can write here is, so if I write any step of x plus any integer beta, you can write this as what? Step x plus that integer. Step x plus this integer. This is going to be if and only if I is an integer. If and only if I is an integer. So let me tell you an example. Sir, give me an example. First of all, let me say 3.4 3.4 plus I you are taking as an integer beta. X value can be anything beta, non-integer, integer, anything. If I should be what? Integer here. I should be what? Integer here. So I can just split like this now. I can split like this. How? 3.4 plus I can write separately. 3.4 answer is what? 3 plus 4 answer is going to be what? 7. All right, getting my point? This is how your answer is going to be. Any doubts? Sir, how you are getting 7 here? Now look at this here, beta. I just splitted this, beta. Without splitting also, you add this 3.4 plus 4, how much, beta? 3.4 plus 4, how much? 7.4 or not? Step of 7.4 is what? 7 or not? Dekho 7 is equal to 7 or not? Check kar lo. Here also 7, here also 7. Even you apply the property, answer is going to be 7. Even you don't apply the property, also answer is going to be 7 only. 7 is equal to 7 or not? 7 is equal to 7 or not? Tell me. Very simple. 7, 7 here. So whatever the property we have applied, it is correct. Many students, what they do is, beta, look at this here. You cannot write like this. See here, you cannot write 3.4 plus 4, step 4. Beta, answer is going to be what? 3.4, step of 4 is 4 only, 6.4. You cannot do like this. This is wrong actually. All right, you cannot pull this out. You cannot pull this, non-integer outside of the, step function and write like this. You don't write like that. If you are pulling out, write in step bracket, I mean close bracket. Write like this and write this integer separately. Then you calculate, your answer is going to match.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, number between 3 and 4, the answer is 3 or 4, sir.
Which one?
Sir, in the step function, you said if the number is between 0 to 1, the answer is 0, no, sir.
Number between 0 to 1. 0 to 1. If I say, if I take 0.5 beta, answer is going to be 0. I said that, yes.
Sir, so 3.4 is 3 only, no, sir?
Where here?
Yes, sir.
But we are not applying step, right, beta? I'm not applying. I'm not writing.
Okay,
I'm not writing
sir,
close bracket. I'm just writing simply 3.4 there.
Okay, sir.
You understand my point? What I'm trying to say
Yes,
is,
yes, sir.
here, this can be written as like this, plus 4 separately. But you cannot write like this, I'm saying. Here I have Look at this. I have something like this
Okay, sir.
square bracket. Here I don't have square bracket. You understand my point?
Yes, sir.
That is the difference, beta. Okay. Next, one more third important and beautiful property is step of x plus step of negative x is going to be. It gives you two answers, beta. It gives me two answers. What are they? It gives me -1 and it gives me 0. It gives me -1 if x is not belongs to integer. It gives me 0 if x is belongs to the integer. Sir, we didn't understand. No problem. We'll give an example. इसमें क्या है? Check कर लो. Look at this here. Now if I have 5 plus -5. Now x is what here, beta? X is what here? Integer or not?
Yes, sir.
If integer, what answer it gives me? 0. How 0, sir? अरे भाई solve कर लो. Look at this here. Step of 5 is what? 5. Step of -5 is what? -5 only. 5 minus 5, 0 or not? Isn't it? Yes. Now one more example. I'll give you something like 9.6 plus minus 9.6. Okay. What is the answer is going to be now? 9 point. Step of 9.6 is 9. Step of minus 9.6 is what? Minus 10 or not? Answer is going to be -1 or not? Yes. Here x value is not integer. Non-integer. Check. If integer, answer is going to be 1. If non-integer, answer is always going to be -1. Check. That is what I wrote here. If it is not integer, -1. Integer means 0. Clear? Any doubts, children?
No, sir.
Very simple. Very, very simple. That is why you look at it here. Next, fourth property I can give you here. Your step x is always going to be what, better? Less than or equal to x. What is it? Your step x is always going to be what? Less than or equal to x. Sir, why it is? Let us try to understand. Beta, if I say 6, if I say 6.5, okay, this can be 6, this can be what? 6. You understand my point?
Yes, sir.
I think we have to. Step x always generates what? Less than or equal to x. Always generate less than or equal to x. Now if I say, sir, why it is less than? If I say -3.4, beta, what is the answer is going to be -4. Okay. If I say -3, what is the answer is going to be? -3 only. Check. It always generate the value which is less than or equal to. I'm talking about definition, beta. I'm talking about definition. I'll be taking the values which is left side of that particular x. So for suppose you have x value as what, beta? 3.4, beta. Okay. This is what x. Okay. What is x value? You won't get 3.4 your answer here. You will be getting what? You will be getting the value which is lesser than 3.4, which is 3 or not. You'll be getting the value as 3, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So you may get x or less than x. That is what the fourth property says here. Okay. So now shall we solve one question? I'll give one beautiful question based on the things which we have learned today. I'll give one question. Okay. Solve for x. Solve for x. If step of x. First of all, look at it. I'll just give you only 2 brackets or 3 brackets. Okay. Plus x. Oh, no. 1 second. Step x plus x close plus x close plus x close. You say greater than some 20. Okay. Greater than some 20. So what is your answer is going to be now? Or else you say some greater than 17 or 21. Okay, 21. Let me say 21. Greater than 21. Okay. So now look at this, beta. So this inside step x, it is an integer or not? Beta, step x is what? Whatever the value I substitute, it gives me an integer or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you substitute in place of x, it is always going to be integer at last. Okay. So the inside what, that is what, integer or not? Now if I take that, can I write it? Can I split that? Can I take that outside? That step x, that integer outside? Yes, I took outside. So if I take that outside, what you left with? This is what you left with now. Correct? You understood my point? As per this property, look at this. As per this property, look at this here. X plus I can be written as step x plus I. I can take the step x outside. Understood my point? I can just keep this step x outside. Similarly, what I'm doing here, I'm just keeping that inside, step x is the right, this one. I'm taking outside. After taking outside, what you left with? This one, you will be left here. And this will be here. This will be here. Understood my point? Check. Again, what is this going to be? Again, this is an integer. Again, this is an integer. Now, this is step x. Plus, again, it removes, I'll just take it outside. So, what you left with now? This is what you left with. Is it clear? Greater than or equal to 21. All right. So now look at this here. Step x plus step x plus. Again, I can just take this step x outside. What you left with? One step x. So greater than 21. How many step x you have here? 4 times of step x. Greater than 21. So 4 ones, 4 how much? 4, 5.25. 4.5.25, correct? So greatest step of x greater than 5.25. And now tell me what is the x value is going to be? What is x value is going to be? But this is an integer here. This is an integer here. So then step x should be what now? It should be here. This step x should be greater than 5.25, which means what? It should be somewhere 6 or not. Greater than
Yes, sir.
it should be 6 or not. Can I take 6? Then what are the possible values of x now? Possible values of x. Possible value. We are asking you to solve for x beta. What are the possible values of x? Tell me. The x values which are greater than or equal to 6 or not, tell me. This is my answer. Why, sir? What I'm trying to say here, try to understand. Step of x is greater than or equal to 5.25 beta. Okay, 5.25, you have to substitute a value called x, which generates the value which is greater than 5.25. Sir, why can't you take 5 here, step x as 5? Why can't you take 5? If I take 5, what happens? Check kar lo. Step of 5 is what? 5 only. How come 5 is greater than 5.25? It is invalid, right? It must be 6 only. Getting my point? Can I take 6? Any doubt, guys? It should be 6 only. Step of 6 is what? Step of 6 is 6 only. So 6 is greater than 5.25. That is how I took 6 here. Now, for what the values I can substitute in place of x in such a way that it gives me greater than 6. Tell me. I should take the values which are greater than 6 or not. You understand my point, beta? Understand my point? Or I can take 6. So from this, if I take 6, step of 6 is what? Step of 6 is 6. 6 is greater than or equal to 6. Valid statement. If I take any value greater than 6, let's say 7, 6.5 I'm taking. Okay, 6.5 I'm taking. Still, I'm getting same or not. If I take any value which is greater than 6, let me say 7.999, which is greater than 6. 7, step of 7.99 is 7. 7 is greater than 6 or not. So understood my point. So everywhere I'm satisfying if I take this condition. So you cannot take x less than or equal to 6 here, or you cannot take x greater than or equal to 5 here. Understood my point? You should take only 6 only. You should take 6 only. Why should we take 6 here? I just explained you clearly here. Look at this here. Why you should take 6? Why you should not take less than that number? Is it clear, beta? I have given you wonderful explanation here. I think so. Okay. Hope you got
Yes, sir.
clarity on this. So any doubts so far? Any doubts so far? Tell me. No. Now,
No, sir.
next we'll talk about modulus function, beta. What is that? Modulus function. Modulus function. Yes, modulus function is going to be what, beta? It is modulus function is a function which gives me an absolute value of the number or variable, you say of the variable. Okay. Sir, what is the meaning of this? I didn't understand. But a modulus will denote like this. But okay, f of x is equal to like this. This is the modulus representation. Okay. For suppose modulus of negative number is always positive, modulus of positive number is always positive only. It gives me always an absolute value. All right. It gives me always absolute value only. Understood my point? If I substitute any value inside the modulus, it gives me always positive. It's not like negative value becoming positive, positive value becomes negative. No, 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 beta. Here, modulus never generate negative values. It takes negative values, but it never generates negative values. It always generates positive values. Huh. Okay, sir, we understood, we know this. But technical definition, what is a modulus? Exact, definition. Beta modulus function is going to be step of x f of x is equal to mod x. It is going to be x. It is going to be minus x. When it is going to be positive, beta, when x is greater than or equal to 0. When it is going to be negative, beta, when x is less than 0. This is the major definition of the modulus function. Okay, you'll be getting two cases, beta. F of x is going to be plus x. When it is plus x, in case x is greater than or equal to 0. F of x is minus x. When x is less than 0. Getting my point or not? Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. So now, sir, if I say modulus of x is equal to a, my x is going to be plus or minus a beta. Okay. So everyone write this. If I modulus of x is equal to, if I have modulus of 4 is what? Modulus of 4 is what? Plus or minus 4 or 4? Tell me. Plus or minus 4 or 4? Hello.
4. So is it y?
It is 4 only. It is not plus or minus 4 beta. It is 4 only. Very good. Look at it here. You don't say plus or minus 4 here. When you have variable something like this, you have to produce the answer in plus or minus. Okay. When you have only constant something like this, it is always going to be plus 4 only. Don't write plus or minus 4. So yeah. All right, people. Any doubts?
No,
Children, any
sir.
doubts? So this is the basic, idea I have given on the modulus. I think NEET has been answered me something 3.4 plus 4 is equal to 7.4. Yes, better 7.4, but step of 7.4 is again 7 or not? NEET-JEE? NEET-JEE? Understood? She is not here. Yes, yes, yes. She responded. Okay. Thank you, children. So this is what the today's session is all about. So we'll meet up in the next class. So make sure that you all are revising, all these notes so that we can go for the class. We can go for the questions in the next class. And one more thing, make sure that you all are finishing the homework. Please do solve the previous year JEE questions which has been uploaded in a Google Classroom. Make sure that you are doing that neatly. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye.